American Idol star, chart-topping success reality TV star Kellie Pickler is a great many things, and she's been on quite the journey over the years. Like many stars before her, Kellie Pickler didn't have a picture-perfect childhood. With her father in and out of jail and her mother leaving when she was just a toddler, Pickler was left to be raised by her paternal grandparents. The American Idol finalist revisited some of the more difficult memories she had growing up when she wrote her 2012 track Mother's Day, which tells the story of a girl yearning for the love of her mother. Pickler previously told Us Weekly that her mother's erratic behavior still sticks with her today. She said, "I remember my mother and I were in the kitchen, and I said, I wish God would take me away. I'd much rather be dead than live here with you." She took a knife out, set it on the counter, and said, "Here, do it then." Her parents' absence meant that she shouldered the load for the rest of her family. She explained, "When I left school, I was clocking into another job. I had other siblings that I was taking care of. I had to learn how to almost be a homemaker in a way." Pickler also had the unfortunate reality of having to visit her father in jail, as he was in and out of trouble with the law throughout her childhood. She explained, "It was a battle to have to go and visit him in the penitentiary as a child, but that was so normal for me." Without her mother to lean on, Kellie Pickler's grandmother became the next best thing. The singer later opened up about how her grandmother, Faye, helped encourage her to follow her dreams from a young age. She would often sing Christian hymns with Pickler during the girl's youth. With a small path connecting her grandmother's house to her own, the two formed an inseparable bond. In a blog post, Pickler wrote, "After Mom took off and Dad's troubles got worse, I got to know that path pretty well. Seemed I was running towards Grandma's more often than heading home."
My grandmother, Faye, was the woman that I called Mom.
Once Pickler was old enough to go to school, she started living with her grandparents full-time. She remembered, "Grandma and I would sit together on the porch with that book in our laps and sing our way right through it. I got lost in those songs. If I was feeling sad, mixed up, or scared before we started, by the time we were a couple bars in, my troubles took a backseat." Pickler dedicated her debut album, Small Town Girl, to Faye, and her grandmother also inspired the singer's heartfelt track, My Angel. Faye died of lung cancer just a day after her diagnosis in 2002, but Pickler still keeps her memory alive. In an Instagram tribute posted in 2018, she wrote, "Not a day goes by that I don't miss your sweet angel face. I love you and will forever be your baby girl." Kellie Pickler didn't know what awaited her when she left her small town in North Carolina to audition for American Idol. The singer was just 19 years old when the fate of her singing career was placed in the hands of Paula Abdul, Randy Jackson, and Simon Cowell. At the time, she had no idea her voice would soon take her much farther than a paycheck from a fast food joint. As she told E! News, "I was roller skating burgers out at Sonic and trying to figure out, what am I going to do with my life? I got in line for Idol, and it was obviously the rocket that launched my career, but it was God that was the fuel." 3 votes from the judges sent Pickler on her first plane ride ever, straight to Hollywood. The country star battled her way to 6th place before being eliminated from the show. But her journey didn't stop there. The American Idol finalist signed a record deal with B&A Records in 2006, just months after leaving the show. While performing on an American Idol tour, Pickler got to work writing hits. She later told The Boot, "I'd come off the stage, get in the car, and run to the nearest studio. Everyone can't believe it when I tell them this, but the songs I did write on the first album, I actually wrote over the phone." Those songs were successes, both in the top 15 and cementing her status as a star. Kellie Pickler's success is much like what some consider to be the American dream, but building a career in the spotlight took a toll on the fledgling country star. In 2008, the singer admitted in an interview with People magazine that family problems and a breakup resulted in a year-long depression. She confessed, "Everything in my professional life seemed great, but in my personal life, I was just crumbling." At the time, the star was fresh off a breakup with professional hockey athlete Jordan Tutu, who believes his former bad boy ways became the fuel for Pickler's breakup anthem, Best Days of Your Life. Pickler's problems came to a head when her father was sent back to prison around the same time her mother, Cynthia Malone, reappeared in 2007. Malone opened up about her relationship with her daughter in an interview with Fox 8.
Leaving my baby. That was the hardest decision that I had to make.
Despite her mother's public reappearance, Pickler maintained her stance that the two did not have a relationship. Fresh off her Idol fame, Pickler says she started taking antidepressants to combat her depression, but she was forced to stop taking them due to the unfavorable side effects. She ultimately found solace in a new relationship with songwriter Kyle Jacobs, as well as fellow country stars Taylor Swift and Carrie Underwood, which motivated her to launch her sophomore album, Kellie Pickler. Early on in her career, Kellie Pickler found love with Nashville songwriter Kyle Jacobs. The pair started dating around 2008, and the singer gushed to People magazine at the time about their budding romance. She said, "He makes me feel so good about being me."
Kyle is by far my greatest treasure. I'd be absolutely lost without him.
The pair got engaged in 2010 and tied the knot the following year in the Caribbean. Pickler and Jacobs spent their honeymoon overseas, visiting U.S. military troops. The two were more than just life partners, but business partners as well. Jacobs produced several songs for successful country artist Lee Brice, and he later worked together with his wife on her track Feeling Tonight in 2015. Pickler told People, "Yes, it's true. I'm sleeping with my producer. I'm so excited to be in the studio again recording a new album, and working with Kyle has been amazing. He has watched me perform for years, so it was great to have a front row seat as an artist and see him in his element." Kellie Pickler shed 40 pounds after going on tour, and she didn't need fad diets or trainers to do it. The singer opened up to OK magazine about her weight loss, admitting she was inspired to make a lifestyle change after gaining weight on tour. The singer had been indulging with her pregnant friend and road pal when the pounds started to pack on. Pickler said, "She gained about 35-40 pounds, and I gained about 35-40 pounds." The singer embarked on a year-and-a-half-long mission to lose weight, committing herself to lowering her sugar intake. As she explained, "It's about training your mind. Just because Diet Coke is Diet Coke, it doesn't mean that it's healthy. You can have a Diet Coke every now and then, but you can't drink it every day. Soft drinks? Bad. Don't drink soft drinks. Horrible." Despite her strict diet, Pickler admits she is only human. She treats herself on occasion, especially if it's a Krispy Kreme donut. She confessed, "I have one every now and then, but only when the hot sign is on. Don't do it unless it's worth it. If you're going to do it, make it good." As for the gym, Pickler isn't a big fan. Instead, she opts for scenic hikes, like the 4-hour-long trek she took up a mountaintop in St. Lucia with Kyle Jacobs to celebrate their first anniversary. Reality television usually comes knocking on the doors of many former celebrity couples, from Kristen Cavallari and Jay Cutler to Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey. The only difference between those celebs and Kellie Pickler and Kyle Jacobs is that sharing their lives with millions of fans didn't result in the end of their marriage. Pickler and Jacobs got their feet wet in the world of reality television when they starred in their own CMT series, I Love Kellie Pickler, in 2015. The show followed their lives together in Nashville as they worked together to produce music and navigate married life. Filming the show together was a new experience for the couple, but an adventure the two were happy to embark on.
So we feel like we're in a safe place where we can just be us, and there's just a lot of freedom.
Jacobs said that making the show meant that for a while they became briefly inseparable.
This has given us a chance to actually spend a lot of time together.
The docuseries lasted for 3 seasons on the network, with the final episode airing in 2017. After dipping her feet in the reality television pond, Pickler returned to music, releasing her single If It Wasn't for a Woman in 2017. Shortly after Kellie Pickler was eliminated from American Idol in 2006, the country star's father was released from prison. The singer spoke openly about her father being in and out of prison while on the show, and she admitted that talking honestly about it helped her cope with her less-than-perfect upbringing. She told MTV, "It was embarrassing, and I didn't want to hurt my dad. But I knew if I didn't come out in the beginning, that people would find out about it anyway. The most important thing you can do is be honest, and I'm not ashamed about my life anymore." Pickler admitted that reuniting with her dad after leaving Idol marked the first time in over 3 years that they had seen each other in person. She said, "In spite of everything we've been through, I love him. He's my dad. I've always been a daddy's girl. He's made a lot of mistakes in life, but who hasn't?" The singer decided to let bygones be bygones, and she even took her father as her guest to the CMT Awards in 2010. Pickler wrote about the up-and-down relationship with her father in her 2012 track, The Letter to Daddy. In the track, Pickler sings about his bouts with alcohol addiction. In 2019, Clyde died at the age of 54, with reports suggesting he suffered a heart attack. In February 2023, Kellie Pickler endured a heartbreaking tragedy when her husband, Kyle Jacobs, took his own life. According to a police report obtained by People magazine, the singer awoke to find her husband missing. She called the police when she and her assistant couldn't get into a room in their shared Nashville home. Autopsy results later confirmed the songwriter had died by suicide. While Jacobs had no drugs in his system at the time of his death, reports detailed his history of pseudo-seizures, gastrointestinal bleeding, elevated liver enzymes, and chronic alcohol use. The shocking incident put a hiatus on Pickler's career, and she was forced to call off a future tour and leave her position as host of the SiriusXM show, The Highway. After remaining silent for months, the singer finally made a statement in August 2023. She told People, "One of the most beautiful lessons my husband taught me was in a moment of a crisis. If you don't know what to do nothing, just be still. I have chosen to heed his advice." The American Idol star went on to thank her supporters for their love and kind words, saying, "It has truly touched my soul and it's helping me get through the darkest time in my life." If you or someone you know needs help with mental health, please contact the Crisis Text Line by texting HOME to 741-741. Call the National Alliance on Mental Illness helpline at 1-800-950-NAMI 6264 or visit the National Institute of Mental Health website.